Before I start this video, I just want to remind you all that everybody has different problems and experiences things in different ways. And remember, what you see on the outside is not always how the person is on the inside. I honestly have not thought I was actually going to talk about this until I was either 18 or graduated from high school, but I feel like I should talk about this today to help me recover. I just want you guys to keep in mind that people have different fears. So like one person might be terrified of heights but loves spiders, while another person might be terrified of spiders but is perfectly okay with heights. I just want you guys to remember that, because today I'm going to be talking about one of my biggest fears that I have to live with on a daily basis. And it's honestly really affected me lately. So that's why I'm talking about this today. One of my biggest fears is talking to people. I know that probably just sounds so silly to a lot of you guys, but just remember, you guys do not know what I experience. We might experience things in a different way. So something that you go through, I would go through differently. I know it just sounds so silly, and that's why I don't really talk about it that much, but basically it controls my daily life and basically everything I do. So I hope that talking about this with you guys on a camera screen will help me in my steps to recover, basically. Yeah. Before I continue this video, if you're going through a situation or something that watching this might bother you, I advise you to click away now, just because I don't want to bother you or anything like that. And also, I just want to mention that YouTube will not allow me to say certain words. So if I do say them, they'll either probably be bleeped out or I might use replacement words, but hopefully you can imply what I mean. I guess the best place to start my video is where my problem started. Growing up, I was just the most happy, free-spirited child, hyper child who really just loved life a lot. Growing up, I just had no fear at all. Basically, that changed in second grade when I was basically just being myself, and I would talk a lot in class and laugh really loud, but I didn't realize that it wasn't the time. It was hard for me to control my hyperness and my laughing and my talking. It was just really hard for me to control who I was, because basically I was just being myself. I got in trouble for it a lot and basically embarrassed in front of the whole class in second grade, and I just remember getting yelled at by the teacher and getting pulled out into the hallway. Basically after that, I kind of just stopped talking. That was when I kind of learned what fear was, because it was embarrassing to get yelled at in front of everybody in the classroom, and I just wanted to be good and behave. I feel like in second grade you start to develop that self-awareness, if you know what I mean. After that, I basically just stopped talking in class, because basically that experience taught me that to be a good student, I had to stay quiet. And I just wanted to be a good student. And so since then, it has just gotten worse. By 5th grade, I started to get help because other people started to notice that I wasn't socializing with my peers as much as I should have been. And I wasn't really being myself around anyone, because I didn't want anyone to know who I was, basically. And in 5th grade, I started going to intermediate school, which was filled with all new kids who I didn't know really any of them. That was hard, Like, I remember for the first 2 months, I had nobody and I had to sit alone at lunch. Eventually, I was able to make a friend group. Like, we would have sleepovers and hang out and everything, and it was just a good time. But I do remember one of my friends had a birthday party, and somehow I found out about the party, and I found out that I wasn't invited. And that honestly just hurt me a lot. Basically, the reason I wasn't invited was because I wasn't hyper enough or crazy enough. I don't know. We were in 5th grade. Life was different back then. And I just remember crying and crying because nobody knew who I really was at that time, because I didn't feel comfortable to show who I really was, because I was just like them, but I was too uncomfortable to show who I was, even though I invited that girl to my birthday party. In 6th grade, we actually moved states. We moved from like a big city to a small country town. Basically, that was a culture shock for me. People use different language here than where I used to live. Just a lot of differences that I really wasn't used to that much. And so basically, I was going into middle school. Luckily, I was able to make 2 friends. It was good because I had 2 friends and we would like hang out every Friday, and that definitely helped me out a lot. By 7th grade, both of them unfortunately moved away. It's weird how both of them moved away, but that's just how things happened. It was awful because I just lost, like I made new friends and then I just lost them like that. Luckily, in the rest of middle school, I was able to make a few new friends, but unfortunately most of them ended up moving away by the time we got into high school. I had 6 friends move away by the time I got into high school, which it's kind of weird how I had 6 friends move away, because that's a big number and most of my friends moved away. And it just really sucked because those were my friends, and it just takes me such a long time to be able to make friends. Also, I did get bullied a lot in middle school, from like the way I talked to the way I dressed to just basically not having a lot of friends. Those were all reasons I got bullied in middle school, and as a result of it, I ended up quitting things I regret. I ended up quitting sports and activities that I loved to do, and it was all out of fear of bullies and because I was afraid. As a distraction of a lot of my friends moving away and the bullying in middle school, I started social media. I started a YouTube channel, and basically focusing on this, it gave me something of my own to focus on that others cannot take away from me. The good thing about YouTube was I was able to talk to a camera. Like, I don't know if you guys are realizing, but I'm alone in my bedroom talking to a camera, which is something I can do because I'm not talking face to face with you. Like, I'm literally just talking to a camera in my bedroom. I could talk to people without actually being in the room with people. And so social media has definitely helped me. So unfortunately, when I got to high school, things started to get worse. So I started to feel kind of lost and alone. And at the time, I wasn't participating in any clubs or sports or activities or anything because I was just too scared to put myself out there and like do something, like get involved in some way. Even though I wanted to get involved, I was just scared to get involved because I don't know what to expect, and that terrifies me. And around that time, more people found out about my YouTube channel, and I started getting made fun of in school for that. And so it was kind of discouraging for me. I started to want to do YouTube less because of that. The bullying was just awful, and it made me feel awful, and it just made me not want to do it as much anymore. So I really wasn't doing anything. And during this time, I just felt so alone because all I wanted was just like some friends to hang out with and everything like that, and I struggled with making friends because I wasn't in any clubs, sports, activities. I really didn't have many ways of making new friends. I just felt very alone. And because I wasn't doing anything, I started to feel very sad, we'll just say. I would cry every day. I just didn't want to go to school anymore. The reason I wasn't doing anything was all because of fear. Fear stopped me. So by sophomore year, I kind of decided that I needed to make a change in my life. And so I tried my very best to try to overcome my fear of socializing. I started forcing myself to be more out there and join more things and do more things. And it helped. I was able to talk more to other people who I wasn't used to talking to. But then the happened. Things got worse from there. Being in lockdown affected me mentally, like not knowing what was going to happen really. Now I went from doing better at socializing and getting more out there and more involved to like nothing. Basically, like all the progress I'd made my sophomore year was just all gone. I wasn't getting social interaction, so like nothing was helping. And I started developing some more problems. Basically my fear got worse, and like it got to the point where I was like afraid to talk to like basically even like people that I know and are close to. And I also just lost all motivation to do anything that I love, such as like working out and making TikToks. I also had trouble with my weight. My weight started going up and down a lot over due to the fact that I was changing a lot of my eating habits and my workout habits, and it was going up and down a lot more than it should have been, basically. And before I was a straight A student, and I really didn't do good with learning online, and my grades started to drop, and that like affected me because I work hard for my good grades, and I felt like I couldn't learn by myself because I basically had to teach myself from home, and I just don't learn like off of a computer screen. I learn in person, and I felt like I had no control over my grades anymore. And just like all this stuff, like this and that and this and that, and it was just almost too much for me that I felt like everything that I liked about myself or just liked to do in general, everything, I felt like it was all just taken away from me, all gone. I just felt like I had nothing left. And I just wasn't feeling passionate about things that I used to anymore. And I would spend a lot of time just laying around, not doing much, because I felt like I had nothing. And unfortunately that went on for like a year and a half, and I feel like that's a big portion of my teenage years, and I feel like it's just gone. I know there's a lot of people who have it like a lot worse. This is just my experience, I guess, and I'm so sorry to people who have it a lot worse. I really, truly am so sorry. I guess when things started to open back up, I was just more nervous than I have ever been before. I was not used to talking to people, and I can't explain it. It's like I feel like I'm trapped in my own body, and like when I'm like face to face with somebody, it's like I can't physically break the wall inside of me. There would be some nights where I would just lay awake in my bed all night and no sleep at all, where I would just worry about like conversations and like what people would say and everything like that. And because I didn't get any sleep, I wasn't able to like go to school the next day some days because I couldn't drive myself there because it would have been dangerous because I had no sleep. And then that created more fear because then I had to make up the work, and it was just a really bad cycle that would not stop. And I would get really bad headaches because I wasn't sleeping at night. And at this point I was having trouble with just like talking like to people I know. I'm afraid to text people. I'm afraid to talk on the phone to people. I'm afraid to talk to people face to face. I don't know why. I don't know what to say. And it's like I physically freeze up and nothing will come out of me. And it's embarrassing because I don't want to freeze up. And then later you just think over and over again about everything that has happened throughout your entire day. And you think, I could have done this better. It could have been like the simplest conversation. The conversation could have went good, but yet you still remember the conversation over and over again in your head. And you remember everything that you could have done better. And you feel guilty. You feel like it's your fault. You feel like you did something wrong, even if you didn't. And it's terrible. It's like a bug that just doesn't leave your head. It's all the time though, so it never goes away. It's terrible. Basically, when I text, call, or talk to someone face to face, I don't really know what to say or how to respond like other people do, I guess. And then later in the day, even if the conversation went good, you still think about it over and over and over again in your head. And it's you can't control these obsessive thoughts. And you just think, why did I say this? I could have, oh, that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, they probably hate me now. Even the conversation could have went good, but you still think they hate you for some reason. And then you cry about it later at night. And that's what I deal with on a daily basis. And I'm always fearful that I'm going to have that one bad encounterment with somebody, which it did happen actually a lot this year. It's every good thing that happens is just a small step forward. But any bad encounterment with somebody takes you 15 steps back. And then you just remember that one time, and it's hard for you to get over that one time, and it's terrible. It's terrible. And I had a lot of that this year. And sometimes when I don't know what to say, I get really nervous, or I'm out of place with a lot of people who I'm not who I'm not comfortable with. I'll get extremely nervous, and sometimes I'll do these awkward body shakes, I guess, and I get dizzy sometimes, and I get dizzy a lot actually, and it's just my body just feels like it just needs to get out of that situation. But the only way to get over it is by being in that situation. And it's not fun. Before I go anywhere, any public place, even just Walmart, I have to mentally prepare myself to go to Walmart. It usually takes me a while to prepare myself to go somewhere really crowded like that, because I'm always afraid that I'm gonna run into somebody I know, or somebody's gonna say something to me, or that I'm just not comfortable with. And when in reality, I should just be able to go to Walmart without being scared of what people are gonna say or who I see there. And to deal with my fear, I have unfortunately developed some unhealthy ways to deal with it. For example, I've had times where I don't know what to do, so I just eat a bunch of food at once, and then I'll have to obsessively exercise a lot, crazy a lot. I've had times where I've done laps around the house until I hit a certain calorie goal on my watch. And just all these unhealthy eating habits have also developed from my fear. My eating has been off balance too. I have times where I will drink only black coffee, then go and burn hundreds of calories at once, and I feel just not good. And I still make myself do it anyways, just because I'm insecure with my body. I said it. And then I've had other times where I can't control myself, and I'll just eat a bunch of food at once, and then I just feel so guilty, and I just want to get better. So one of the reasons I'm making this video, because I feel like talking about this with you guys is a step I need to take to help me recover, basically. And I feel like it will help me a lot if I talk to you guys about this, because I also want to try to build my relationship with God and Jesus. And because I know they'll help me through this situation. So some of my goals this year is to get a job. Now this is something that I've wanted to do basically for about 2 years now. Yes, I'm very fortunate enough to make money off of social media, but I want to get a job to teach me responsibilities, and I think getting a job will help basically my problems. It's just the fear of putting myself out there to get a job. And I just need to learn to get over that fear of applying and interviewing and everything you need to do for a job to actually get a job. I definitely think it would be good for me. It would teach me responsibility and help me socialize more, I guess. I've just been struggling with taking the step to get the job, but I'm working on it, and I hope that talking about it with you guys will help. Another goal of mine is to make more friends, and I just want to have a close group of friends who I can just open up to. We can all be there for each other, and we can all have fun together, because I've just always wanted to have that close group of friends who does everything together and has fun together and goes on adventures together, and I'm too scared to talk to people to make the friends. So how am I going to make friends if I'm too scared to start a friendship with anybody? But I'm not really looking to start a relationship with anybody, and it's just because if I meet the person and it happens, but I'm not actively out there being hey, I need a boyfriend or something like that. No, I don't really need to be in a relationship right now. I need to work on myself right now. Maybe in the future I'll want to start a relationship with someone, but that's not really my goal right now. And I also want to start making more videos again, because before I was just scared to make videos, but if I could open up and talk to you about this right now, I think that I might be comfortable to start making more videos again if I feel comfortable posting this video. Yeah. Plus I feel like talking to you guys really helps me out, and I love you guys so much. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope I was able to say what I wanted to say and basically get my point out there. It's kind of hard to get my point out when I'm not allowed to use certain words, but I hope that you were able to understand what I was saying basically. And also, I'm just not ready to share everything that's been going on yet, and maybe when I'm ready I'll share more, but I hope you at least got kind of an understanding of what's going on. And remember, even if something like this does not affect you, you don't know what other people are truly going through on the inside. What you see on the outside is not the same as the inside. I feel like I've been putting on a character on social media as this happy, innocent little girl basically, but I feel like people don't really know the real me. I guess it's just out of fear. And if any of you guys are going through a situation similar to this, just know you are not alone. You have a supportive community who's here, and I just wanted to let you know you are loved and you are not alone. Trust me, okay? And I really hope things get better for you. I really do. And I'm so sorry to anybody who has it worse. I really hope things get better for you. So I'm most likely going to leave the comments on this video, but please be mindful of what you're posting in the comment section. I want this to be a supportive community for people who are going through similar situations or need to just open up about something. So please be respectful for what you're commenting, and remember, not everybody experiences things the same way as other people do. So just remember that, because I just don't want anybody to get hurt in the comment section. So please be kind. And remember, I love you guys all so much, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.